Hey everybody, thanks for clicking on this video. If this is your first time on the channel, thank you for checking us out. And make sure to like, comment, and subscribe before you leave. So this video is kind of informal. It is going to be what I call postpartum during a pandemic. So make sure to go back to the video before last. It is my birth vlog where I gave birth to my 7-pound, 6-ounce baby girl. Her name is Janelle. And for those who have already been on the channel for a while, you can see that we changed the channel to J4 and it used to be J3. So this video, like I said, is going to be real laid back and informal, but just kind of discussing what it's been like going through postpartum during everything that's going on with our nation right now. So Janelle was born on Friday, March 6th at 5:47 p.m. And again, like I said, you can go back and watch the birth vlog to get details about what happened during her birth. We did stay in the hospital for 2 days, so we were able to come home in the late afternoon of the 8th. Duty calls, had to go get the baby. Can you say hi to everybody? No? Okay, you're just gonna stare? That's fine. Okay, so as I said, we came home on the 8th, and everything for the first 2 weeks were pretty good. I was able to have company over. My brother and my dad was coming over on a regular basis. My god sister and her family had came over. Janelle's godmother came over to visit. So pretty much we had a lot of visitors that were coming through just to say hi. They were bringing food and just offering support if I needed to have a nap really quick. They were here and they were able to assist with that. Now, Jeremy was only able to take about maybe 5 or 6 days off. He planned to take off 2 weeks. But again, this is when the beginning of the pandemic was starting. So because he's an essential worker and he works at a hospital, they shortened the number of days that he could take off because there was a need for staff to be there. So the first 2 weeks that we were home, Deuce was able to go to daycare. So it was just me and the baby here the entire day. So that actually helped. I pretty much slept when she slept, like I said, aside from when company was coming over. Okay, so on the 20th, for the state of Illinois, that's when they announced the shelter in place. So we got the official phone call that Deuce's daycare was going to be shut down until further notice. So that's when it began where I had both kids at home. Originally, the first 2 weeks, and like I said, what the plan was before we knew any of this was going to take place, was that Deuce was going to go to daycare 5 days a week, and pretty much the only day that I would have the kids, both kids, by myself was going to be on Saturdays because Jeremy's off on Sundays and Mondays. So it's been stressful. You know, I have a 3-year-old, Deuce is very energetic, as you can hear him in the background. He's a boy. He's very active. He wants to jump on things. He wants to throw things. And he wants your undivided attention when he wants you to do something or when he wants something. Baby girl, as you can see, is pretty chill for the most part, but when she's hungry or when she's wet or she just wants to be cuddled, she wants your attention too. And there's times, of course, there's going to be sibling jealousy, and Deuce doesn't care what you're doing at the moment. He wants your attention right then and there. So it's been hard. It's been very tiresome with regards to rest because, of course, she's going on, she'll actually be 8 weeks tomorrow. So she doesn't have a set sleeping pattern yet. So pretty much up a lot during the middle of the night. But then I'm also still up the entire day with both kids because even when she sleeps, Deuce does not, he's an anti-nap person. It's hit or miss of whether he wants to take a nap. So I can't take a nap while he's up because who knows what my house will look like when I wake up. So yeah, it's been tiresome. When Jeremy gets in from work, he does try his best. He's exhausted again. He's an essential worker at a hospital, so he's exhausted. But he does take the kids, in the living room, so that I can try to get a couple hours of sleep in order to prepare for being up pretty much, not the entire night, but a good chunk of the night. So he's very supportive with that, but it's very tiresome. So I have only been out of the house 2 times since the shelter in place has started. And those have both been for baby girl's appointments, for her 1 week follow up and then her 1 week checkup. 1 month checkup, excuse me. So 2 appointments. Even that's been an experience. Originally, their pediatrician usually sees patients on Mondays, and they are really doing an excellent job of making sure that there are not a lot of patients in clinic at the same time. So their pediatrician got bumped to Tuesdays, which means that Jeremy couldn't come to any of the appointments because he's at work. So that was, disappointing because he's, very hands-on and interested with regards to their appointments. So yeah, it's just a lot of components that have been really different compared to what it was when we went through this with Deuce. I miss the adult interaction. Not saying that Jeremy doesn't count, but it's almost to the point where, with the exception of Sundays and Mondays, we really don't get to interact with one another. Because when he comes in, it's a, hey, how you doing? Okay, did you have a good day? All right. Here are the kids. All right, I'm going to go take a nap. And then by the time that I'm kind of up and somewhat alert after my nap, we're trying to get the kids to, get their baths and making sure that they're cleaned up from dinner. Everything's cleaned up from dinner and putting them to bed. So then by the time all of that's done, I'm ready to go back to sleep again to try to get a little more sleep. And then Jeremy's ready to go to sleep because he has to get up early and go to work. So that aspect, with regards to no company being able to come over because everybody's to remain indoors unless, you're going out for groceries or you have to work or something like that. So it's definitely been different. With regards to grocery shopping, Jeremy has been doing all of the grocery shopping, which is, it's helpful, but it's also stressful. When you're used to doing all of the shopping on your own, making sure that he gets all of the necessary items that I need to cook. I get a ton of phone calls when he's at the grocery store. Some of it I send him with a list and then he goes. And then other times we've been lucky to be able to utilize the Walmart grocery app. But that's been very hard. It's a very popular service. We used to use it all the time even before this happened. But now it's a very, very popular service. So you almost have to reserve your spot like 2 weeks in advance if they have a slot available. So most time I'm sending him with the list. So I'm not even in the grocery stores. Like I said, literally the only 2 times I've been out have been those doctor's appointments for the baby. Even my appointments were telehealth appointments. I'm not sure what's going on in the other states. But Illinois, specifically the city of Chicago, has been doing telehealth appointments. So my postpartum appointment with my OB was over the phone. It was literally, hey, how you doing? Do you have the baby blues? Or, do you feel like you're healing down there? Or, how do your boobs feel? And all of that stuff. All of this was over the phone because they really don't want anyone to come into these clinics unless it's absolutely necessary. I think they said at some point during and if you see me turning, I'm trying to coddle the baby and put her pacifier in her mouth. They literally said that maybe in June or July they would be able to get the postpartum women into the clinic. just to physically check them and make sure that everything is okay. But other than that, everything is going to be over the phone. This week on Monday, I had a video appointment with my primary care doctor. Now, I do like the video calls a little bit better because at least you can physically see the doctor versus the telephone. And she can kind of look at you and see what's going on and all of that. So that was okay, but it still wasn't a physical interaction or exam. And this is how it seems like society is going to be for a while until they find a vaccine or there's a peak, as they're calling it, where we can somewhat have life go back to normal. So let me also throw it out there that I did not make this vlog to be all sad and Debbie Downer, but I did want to just give a real life glimpse of what it's been like to just recently had a baby with this deadly virus that's going on. And I know there's far more worse things that could be happening. We're all alive in our house. We're all healthy. Like I said, there's so many lives that have been lost. There's so many people in the hospital that are battling the virus. There's so many people that are quarantined in their houses because they've had positive results. So I am beyond grateful that we are doing well and we're happy and the kids are thriving. But I did want to give my perspective. I am most grateful that I did have her when I did, because she was born at 38 weeks, so she came 2 weeks early. So had she come on time, I was doing the 15th. So, of course, that's just an estimate. So if I would have given birth any time later, around my due date or later, the hospitals all now have visitor restrictions where some hospitals aren't even allowing your spouse to come in and be a part of the delivery. Some husbands spouses have had to be on FaceTime watching their partner give birth because no one is allowed in the hospital. There's other hospitals that just allow the spouse person and that's it. I had a hospital full of people. The day that she was born, they only allow 3. The hospital that we go to, they only allow 3 in the room at one time. So, but throughout the course of the day, people rotated. I had, of course, Jeremy. We had our birth photographer who's a family friend. My dad was there. My godmother was there. My cousin was there who was our doula. And then my bonus mom came later on. And then even when we got to the mother and baby unit later on, the godparents came, grandparents came, one of my nieces came to visit. So we had a ton of visitors. So like I said, I'm so grateful that I had her when I did, because I can't imagine this joyous occasion of giving birth and you can't have anybody there to share, to share that moment. You're surrounded by doctors and nurses who you really aren't familiar with during that special time. So I can go on and on about this subject, but like I said, I did want to jump on here and make this vlog just to let you know how I've been doing and what it's been like. Thank you so much for watching this video. Again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm making this video on Thursday, and I actually go back to work on Monday. It's a bittersweet feeling. I am ready for the adult interaction. Like I said earlier, I'm not ready to actually do any work. And I'll be doing a vlog of how I'm preparing and getting everybody ready as I return back to work. So stay tuned for that as well. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, bye.